Hey everybody, Shoebox Legends here. Thanks for joining me today for a video response episode. This is going to be a response to SilverJackify and his 12,000 sub contest. You heard that right. So he has hit the 12,000 sub milestone, which is just incredible. He's been at it a long time here on the platform and obviously has great content. You don't reach that kind of a subscriber count without it. And to celebrate, he's given away some pretty nice prizes. And more importantly, I just wanted to jump in on the fun because I thought the VR challenge was a pretty interesting one. So what he wants to see is at least 5 cards, really cool cards from your collection that are each a $50 or less card. So this is going to be, a way to look at some kind of sneaky good cards that you can still get at affordable prices. And it's not, just going to be people showing off their Mickey Mantle slab collections or anything like that. That $50 price tag per card made this kind of an interesting challenge. So myself, as a kid collector of the late 80s, early 90s, I'm obviously a fan of the rookie card. In the 80s, the rookie card really became a big thing and kind of stuck with me to this day, as it does so many collectors. And so a lot of the cards that I'm going to show today, 4 out of the 5 that made my list are rookies, and 4 out of the 5 are baseball cards as well. But I did sneak one really cool and I think interesting hockey card in at the end. So we'll start with the baseball. First 2 are 1980s rookies, and the first one that I chose is the 82 Topps Cal Ripken Jr. Future Stars card, shared with Bob Bonner and Jeff Schneider. So this is a really iconic card from the 82 set. It's one of the better known rookies of the 80s period. I love this one personally because it's from my birth year, 1982. I was a huge Ripken fan growing up. This is actually my original childhood copy that I got out of a vending box of 82 Topps baseball that I was given by my dad when I was a kid, and still have it, decades later. Was a really big fan of Cal growing up as a baseball fan in the early 90s, him chasing and eventually breaking the consecutive games played streak by Lou Gehrig was just epic, and he was just a big name in the game, but also possessed some power, especially for a shortstop, and just had an interesting personality. So always liked Cal, and you can still find copies ungraded of that card in mid condition to even near mint condition for well under $50. And I think that's a really compelling buy and kind of an essential 80s baseball card for any collection. And then on the same note, as far as 80s rookies go, I was pleased and a little bit surprised to find that you can still find this one for under $50 pretty easily. And that is the 84 Donruss Don Mattingly. Now, again, this card has exploded in popularity recently, although it's always been a popular card. And if you're going to get like a graded Mint 9 version or a PSA 10 or something, you're not going to get that for $50 or less. But if you're willing to just get a decent looking, example like I have here from my set, you can definitely find this one for, in the $40 to $50 range. And obviously, lower condition examples, even cheaper than that. Selected that one for many of the same reasons as the Ripken, although Mattingly wasn't, a personal favorite of mine. As a kid, that card was just huge throughout the 80s and 90s. The 84 Donruss set, I think, is one of the better sets of the decade with that Kodak-sponsored photography. And so a really neat card there that is still easily attainable for less than $50. After 2 rookies from the 80s, now we're going to jump all the way to the 21st century for the next 2 rookies. This is my favorite active player, has been since he broke into the league, so I wanted to try to include him on the checklist, and that is Xander Bogart. So his rookie came in 2014, flagship Topps Chrome, etc. Some of those Chrome parallels and even the flagship ones are, over $50 now, like the Topps Gold and really any of the Chrome colored parallels. So I decided to take a different approach and go with this opening day Xander Bogart's card. I just think, he is a really, really undervalued and somewhat underrated player in the modern game, especially at his position of shortstop. He is just reliably good. He's not flashy in any way, and he doesn't really have a ton of charisma. So he gets a little bit lost behind guys like, Tatis and others, Juan Soto, but he's just consistently been a very good hitter every single year since he emerged into the league. He's a definitely, sufficient and at times very good fielder. And he's got a couple of World Series championships under his belt already. Off to another good start this year through the first 15 games or so. So a really good player. And these opening day blue hollow foils are pretty interesting to me. I like these. Opening day is a lower end set, and there aren't a lot of people out there chasing opening day cards. I agree and I get it, but I think these rainbow foil parallels are kind of the exception when it comes to opening day. Back in 2014, when this one was issued, these blues were serial numbered to the year of production, so 2014 in this case. So this is, kind of akin to like a Topps Gold rookie card in that sense, except it looks even nicer, and it's available for less money. So the last few sales of this blue opening day Bogarts rookie, I checked before shooting the video just to make sure, have been in like the, $20 to $25 range. So really, really reasonable. And I think that is a great card in my under $50 VR here. And then the last baseball card is actually a very new card. And this will be a controversial choice because it's a controversial card. But this is one that I think for under $50 is very, very interesting. And that is, of course, the 2021 Bowman's Best Wander Franco. Is it a rookie? Is it not a rookie? These are well under $50 still. In fact, I think these are about in the $25 range as I shoot this video here in late April. The man had a very impressive age 20 partial season last year. Just showed a lot of maturity and on-base ability, along with some power. He's off to a really good start this year. Had a couple home runs in the same game against my Boston Red Sox about a week ago. And again, at the time of this video, he's one of only a couple dozen players in the entire league with an OPS that's around 1,000 or better. And, for someone who, again, is just 21 years old, I think that's really, really compelling. This is far from, Wander Franco's most desirable or valuable card. But there is a contingency of collectors out there that believe this is his true rookie card. Because it was numbered as part of the base set. You can see at the top there, number 50, and it was released in the year 2021 where he played a significant number of major league games. That kind of qualifies this as like an unofficial rookie card. So this is a very controversial card. People seem to get upset about whether it is or isn't a rookie. I'm not really even sure how I feel about that. But just because of his success early in his career so far and the controversy behind that card, I think it's a very compelling pickup for under $50. And then last, but certainly not least, did want to include one hockey card in the challenge, just to put my own spin on this, and chose a Conor Mcdavid card. And for those of you that aren't hockey fans or collectors, this guy is dominating the sport of ice hockey the way that Mike Trout dominated the sport of baseball in the 2010s. He is just perennially in the mix for scoring titles, MVPs, is playing at a level beyond, really almost any of his peers. There have been seasons where he's finished with, 25, 30% more points than the next closest, high scorer. So he's just an unreal talent. And a lot of his cards are over $50 as a result. But I have one here. This is an insert from 2018. You can still get this card for around $30. And I have been telling friends of mine about this card for years, just kind of thinking that it's a sneaky good buy. And it's his Upper Deck Canvas from 2018. I love this card because to me, it mirrors the Kobe Bryant 2008 Topps card where he is facing off against LeBron James. This is a horizontal card just like that one. It features, two stars of the game. The already established golden boy of the game, Sidney Crosby, and the heir to the throne in that sense, Conor McDavid. I think it's, really similar to that iconic Kobe and LeBron card, but in the same sense, just for the sport of hockey. And making it even more similar, that Kobe card came out in 2008. At that point, Kobe had been in the league for about a dozen years or more, and LeBron had only been in the league for a few years. Well, this is the same. At this point, this card came out in 2018. Crosby had been in the NHL for over a dozen years and around or slightly over that. And McDavid had just broken in the league 3 or 4 years prior to that. So even, the age lines up as far as where they were in their respective careers. And I think this is just a really fascinating card for that reason. This is not a rare card by any means. Plenty of these were produced, but in the time, I'd say the last year or two that I've been telling friends about this and encouraging people I know to pick this up, I've seen it rise from, under $10. I bought plenty of copies of this card when it was a $9 or $10 card. And I think these days it's probably about a $30 card. But in my opinion, as Crosby, winds down his career in the coming years and McDavid continues to just rack up accolades, he looks to be, another few days away here from potentially another scoring title or MVP award. I just think the ceiling for this card is very, very high. And my guess is, in another 5 to 10 years, this card will be, valuable enough that I couldn't include it in a countdown like this any longer. So that's the lone hockey card. Been waiting for an opportunity to kind of tout that one on the channel, as I'm a big believer in that card. And this VR seemed like the perfect opportunity to do that. So there you go. I hope this suffices, SilverJackify. Congrats again on 12,000 subs on YouTube. That's astounding and certainly well-deserved. And I really enjoyed kind of going through this thought exercise and accumulating these 5 cards to show off today. And to everybody else, I appreciate you stopping by. And I'll certainly be back in the near future with some more sports card content. Until then, take care.